Beats Planet.
Yo, testing. Wait a minute, let me do that. Is that, no, that's not it. Let me hit this button here. Okay, now my sound getting a little. Yo. All right, what's up, y'all? We back at it again, Lombardi. Well, I shall I not say back at it again because like we just kind of like regular back. We just like regular back. I haven't done one of these in a good little while. Pardon me. I just wasn't up to it. I just simply didn't feel like creating content. I put my soliloquy out yesterday. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. That was just kind of me getting back to work. So I'm just kind of like back to work now, you know. So let me hit this button and get that there. So what I've been doing with my thumbnails, or what I would like to do moving forward with my thumbnails, is I kind of watched Ozark, right? I kind of watched Ozark season 2 and 3. And you know how at the beginning, they like to give you 4 little pictures of what's going to happen in the episode? I think that's kind of fire. So I'm kind of trying to do that with my live stream thumbnails now, where I just put a bland title that don't really mean nothing. But then I'll put 4 little pics in this little grid or whatever and let y'all go look at it so you can, you know, kind of anticipate what we got to talk about. I think that's fun. I think that's interesting. We got an empty stadium, some helmets on grass, broccoli, and a phone that's on fire. So y'all know what phone is on fire mean. Whenever you see that, that means phones are lit. And that's really what I wanted to do today because I haven't talked to y'all in a while. It's been a minute. More like an hour, right? So I'm sure, and I ain't even sure, y'all may not have nothing to say, but there may be questions. And if you have any questions, this is the show for you because it's late. I was working on some things. I've inboxed some privileged people. I've inboxed some platinum people. I've dropped stuff in Patreon. I've been doing that. If you're in any faction of those people, you kind of know what I've been up to. Everybody.
The conference has locked.
I get it. Okay, let me turn that down. Turn that down. Pardon your eardrums, y'all. So that's kind of what I've been doing for the past, couple of days or whatever. So if y'all got anything to say, any kind of question, whatever it is, you can call into the show. The phone lines are open for you to kind of get in touch with this thing. And if y'all don't, I'll just kind of run this on my own because that's what, I've been doing that for years. The number is 515-606-5187, access code 309-104 if you want to get in touch with the show and ask a question. If not, I'm going to interact with the chat box and just kind of go on my spiel. So, it seems like we're trying to find answers with this whole COVID thing as I take a sip of my lemon water. How many of y'all been watching the blog videos, soliloquy videos? I think I'm gonna do some with water on every episode. But it seems like entertainment, sports are trying to get into a better place with COVID, or at least people that don't have COVID, or at least people that'll wear masks to stop spreading COVID or whatever. But they got to get their monies and they got to get their TV deal stuff out the way, and they got to sell their tickets. So I think sports is gonna happen regardless. Basketball is gonna happen late July or something like that. But football. I was talking to the homie Sadie Fresh, right? And we were watching one of the UFCs with empty stadiums. And I was like, boy, this is incredible. I kind of like no fans. And he was like, it's kind of taken away from me. I would hate if we had football with no fans. I'm not sure if I would enjoy it. I started to smack the shit out of him because it ain't got to be no fans at the daggum football. Because I've been on a losing football team before. I know what football is like with no fans. It ain't terrible. You can hear better. You know what I'm saying? A little less pressure. The game gonna be the game anyway, and if you focus on your sport, you ain't really worried about the fans anyway. I think it's interesting though. I just want to know if any of y'all kind of fall into that category of Sure, man, I would love to have NFL football, but if fans ain't there, I'm not gonna watch it. Because if I'm watching from my couch, what's the difference anyway? Right? What's the difference anyway? Joe said baseball starting up. What is baseball? What sport is that? Anyway, would y'all not like like to watch live sports if it didn't have fans? Like, what does fan engagement do for you? Like, if I'm at the event, because when I went to that Cowboy game, those few times I went to those Cowboy games and fans were there, it was kind of like this community deal. But I don't know if I want somebody behind me screaming and they may have the COVID, because now I got COVID on my neck. I don't want that. I don't want that. Even if they lower the, fan capacity, right? And they like, okay, so every 6 seats we gonna sit somebody. Well, what if somebody in the nosebleeds cough down? You know what I mean? I think it's a weird thing to just say, oh, we're gonna have fans and we're just gonna make y'all wear a mask, or we're gonna take your temperature when you get there, or we're gonna, you may be one of those asymptomatic people that may have the damn COVID but don't know you got it. So then what? So then what? I think it's going to be weird, but at the end of the day, I don't particularly care. They can play in an empty ass arena if they want to. They can play with no fans, with no concessions, no workers, no referees. They can only look. If they only brought the starters, if the sideline was empty and it wasn't nothing but the coaches, the offense, defense, and the kicking game people, they ain't got to have the chain game. They ain't got to have nothing. Of course, because this year the Cowboys gonna win the Super Bowl, so I kind of just want that thing to. I kind of just want this thing to happen anyway, because it's our damn year. But it doesn't really mean anything to me one way or another. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't have fans, who cares? I don't get anything from them screaming through the damn TV, because all they're gonna do is cut that noise down anyway. So whether it be football, basketball, boxing, MMA, or whatever sport Joe was talking about with bases, I don't know. Whatever sport that is, it don't really mean nothing to me. What y'all think, chat box? What y'all think? As I sip my lemon water. That's where I'm at with it. I don't care. Just give me the football. Give me the football. Who cares? Think about baseball, though. Baseball would actually be better if it wasn't 500 games a season. Baseball is terrible, because the sport is bad when you can play 2 games in one day. Like the same team play 2 games in one day. Y'all ain't tired? Y'all don't want to go home? Y'all legs don't hurt? Y'all can just play this all day? Get out of here. Not gonna be able to do it, Playboy. Not gonna be able to do it, man. I'll get the donation. I'm just waiting on. I'll get on the $10 dono, just not wanting Gmail account. I'll get together this weekend. Appreciate it, Corona King. That's an interesting name for you. But yeah, that's just kind of one thing that I was just thinking about. Another thing that was on my mind. Hey, everybody, stop, pause real fast. Space Cowboys in the chat box. He got the 5,000 subs. Everybody just kind of clap him up real fast. Salute to him real quick. Cause he actually want to make some noise in his little YouTube thing that we do, and he got 5,000 subs. So shouts out to him. Something else that was on my mind too is training camp, right? Training camp is right around the corner, and they kind of hit the Cowboys up like, hey man, y'all just can't have training camp in California. Just not gonna be able to do it. You know what I mean? And they're gonna be having training camp in Frisco now. So with that, I got a handful of texts from 6 people. I got about 4 tweets, a phone call, and like a Facebook message. You know what I'm saying? They was like, yo, Voch, training camp is in Frisco. Does that mean you're going, or are we going to go together? I had a conversation with Big Game James. He says that he's going to make his way to Dallas. Sure, training camp is in Frisco. I don't think that means we can go, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was in 2018 or so, like they have it in Oxnard, I think, to get away from Dallas, sure. And it may be a money thing. I don't know, whatever, but it's like a fan engagement thing, to have it in Oxnard. They just have it open and you just come for free. You probably pay for parking or something goofy like that, $30 for parking. That's probably how you make it up. But I just don't see the fan engagement part going on here, right? Like, what's the reason for you letting fans into this venue if we still going through COVID? Now, me personally, I ain't really worried about I ain't really worried about it like that. I know how to distance myself from people. I got a dope ass mask. It's washable. It's washable. You know what I mean? So if I had to get around people, I wouldn't care necessarily. I just keep my hand sand on deck. And I would just capture my footage because I sincerely believe that me going to training camp is going to be different than Law Nation going to training camp. I talk crazy to Law Nation every chance I get. I talk crazy to Law Nation about training camp because he'll go to training camp and watch people throw, and he just want to watch Dak throw, and he'll watch Cooper Rush throw, and he'll pay no attention to them offensive linemen and defensive linemen running into each other. So I give Law Nation a hard time every time we end up talking about training camp, right? So if I do go to training camp, I do think the footage that I bring to the table would be appropriate. But I don't think the league is going to allow that. The league is kind of watching this thing closely. The league is kind of mandating this thing. The league is the one that tapped Jerry on the shoulder and said not going to be able to do it. It wasn't a Jerry Jones decision. It was a league decision that, hey, Jerry Jones, y'all can't go to Frisco. So if fans, if the league is going through all these steps to make things safe, I don't think the league would allow anybody to go to training camp that's not personnel or that's not a part of the organization or that hadn't been tested on site for a week. At the UFC events, people got tested like 5 times in one weekend, right? And they had to isolate themselves. The trainers, the cut people, the arena staff, the fighters, the fighters corner people, the people that came with them, everybody had to get like 5 COVID tests in a weekend, right? So not only would you probably have to do that for training camp, and that's probably what's going to happen with these players, they're going to get like super COVID tested, but you just can't bring random ass people into that now. We can't afford to get CeeDee Lamb sick. we can't afford to let strange people in the damn training camp to get CeeDee Lamb sick. What's wrong with y'all? So even though it's in Dallas and it's very close to me, and I would like to go, I just don't think it's going to be a thing. I got a phone call. Let me check him on this phone call, and I'll get into broccoli later. Let me just test my levels real quick just to see what's kind of going on. 830, what's up? Who this?
Hey, this is Josh W.
What
down
up?
Here in Central Texas.
What up, J-Dub? What you got for the show?
Well, man, first of all, I want to thank you for everything you've done over the past 5-6 years.
Man.
I caught on to your draft profiles and stuff like that because I'm a huge Cowboys fan, have been the whole life. And I really appreciate the work you put in, especially after your old job folded. And I was watching your stuff, and, man, you just kicked it up another level and another notch. And, man, can't thank you enough for the work you put into making being a Cowboys fan an intellectual pursuit.
Damn.
Instead of just a bunch of screaming fans.
Damn.
And talking heads.
Damn. J-Dub, we are working, man. I appreciate your kind words. We work very hard over here. And we work to have more nuanced Cowboy conversations. You're absolutely right. And not just scream at each other emotionally. We try to bring nuance to the table. So I very much so appreciate you for acknowledging that, sir.
Well, first of all, you just answered my first question when you said that you weren't certain that you were going to the training camp, so I was hoping you would get a chance to go this year because I knew your insight would be special, but I understand if it's not going to happen this year. My second question is, I watched a Okoye video recently with the Rams, and he was talking about their running back and everything. They just let go. He went to Atlanta, and he was talking about how what really happened is their offensive line took a step backwards because of injuries. They lost this guy, the center or whatever, And I love our pieces that we have on the offensive line, but I could see, if the dice roll the wrong direction, that could be the problem. I don't think the defense is going to be a problem. I think the rest of the offense is stacked.
Sure.
So,
in terms in terms of the Rams, lately, the past few weeks or so, I've been talking a lot about teams selling their soul for a Super Bowl run. I've been talking about that a lot, and there's bound to be some people that haven't heard me talk about it. What I mean by that is, you don't want to be the team that sells your soul for one Super Bowl run. You don't want to just go and spend all the monies and just acquire. I really like what the Cowboys do because I think they're really avoiding that because they more so build their team through the draft. But if you look at the Rams, what they did, right? The Rams is like, all right, so we're going to go spend money on Aqib Talib, and we're going to spend money on Marcus Peters, and we're going to get an offensive lineman. We're going to sign Ndamukong Suh, and we're going to go spend big money on that safety that they got. Forgot his name. Todd Gurley going to get paid. Jared Goff going to be Brandon Cook's going to make $16 million, and we going to make a run at the Super Bowl, right? And the problem with that is just like shooting dice in the bathroom, right? It's a gamble. It's a coin flip, and you better win that Super Bowl because if you don't, you're going to be terrible for a while. The same with the Giants, right? The same with it's another team that I'm constantly making that comparison to, but you don't want to be the team that makes a Super Bowl run, win or lose it, and you're trash for the next 5 years. You want to be like the Seahawks. You want to win a Super Bowl. You want to go to a Super Bowl. You want to be in the playoffs, You want to fight every year for it. So that's kind of how I want my Cowboys to be. And to kind of get on, to get on to what you were saying, I think this team is built properly. It's built the right way. It's built for longevity, we got to let people go because we draft so many good players. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a lot of confidence with the Cowboys and the direction they're headed. I hate the COVID stuff because I think it makes an easy, simple business decision with Dak Prescott muddy. But I'm going to keep rooting for him no matter what it looks like. Period. And I'm going to keep listening to good content providers like you and your other three friends day in and day out because that's bread and water. It's good, and it makes me a better fan.
Man, Josh W., that means the world to us. Is this show first time calling?
Yep.
Damn, Josh W., appreciate you, man. I just plugged you in platinum, so next time you call in, I'll know who I'm talking to. You're a platinum caller now. Appreciate it, Josh W.
Appreciate you.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for all the hard work.
Yes, sir. J-Dub, man, it's so interesting, man. Every time I get on the show, the last few times I've gotten on the show, it'll be like a first-time caller, right? And sometimes it'll be people, yo, Voch, I was following draft coverage. I found you. First time. What's cracking? Other times, like, yo, Voch, I was around since that Sean Oakman video. This just happened to be my first time calling. Dope stuff, though, man. Dope stuff. Do not sell your soul for a Super Bowl run. All right, cool. Let's get Space Cowboy on the phone because he called in with his 5,000 subs. Don't be Hollywood now, dog. Don't be too.
No, sir.
Don't be.
We still got a grind to do. Always could do better. Always could do better.
Don't get too big for your britches, there, Space Cowboy.
No, sir. I'm not done yet. Got to do better. Always got to improve.
Got a little too much dip on your chip there. What's good, my guy?
Oh, no, nothing much, man. I just wanted to first, number one, thank you so much for everything you've done, and having me the ability to shout out on your channel because, without you, I want to be where I'm at, and I'm being, dead ass honest. You know what I mean?
Man, let me tell you something,
give,
man. I appreciate your kind words, but I can direct people all I want. If your content is trash, they not going to stay. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, no, but I wanted to have, a conversation regarding the whole COVID thing and how it could possibly impact our season because, considering the fact that we're in a bit of a flux with our team because obviously, new coaching staff, some new players and stuff like that.
Sure.
Now, we don't know exactly how it's going to look in the fall, but I'm going under the assumption that there could be a second wave, but more importantly, considering the preparedness for the team, right? Because think about it. The Cowboys got 5 preseason games, so they have an extra game to really evaluate the team and get their team under their belt.
Mm-hmm.
And then there also has to be the possibility that you might have games being canceled, especially sometime in, I would say, November or December. So if you're the Cowboys, you need to do well very early on in the season because if there's an event where, games had to be canceled, which if I recall, there was something regarding the scheduling where they wanted to make it a certain way. So if in the event that games do get canceled, they can afford to just skip to the playoffs or whatever the case may be. Now, I have my optimism that we'll be able to do things just fine. I just hope they don't try to do anything convoluted and they don't compromise the health of our players. Because trust me, like you said, I don't want CeeDee Lamb getting sick. I don't want anybody getting sick.
Right.
You know, because this is a very serious disease that can very much impact. Like, you know, people might think that it's like, oh, it's just a one-off thing. Just so you know, like, COVID can very much impact the health of an athlete, you know, permanently.
Mm.
I'm not sure if you've done any research regarding COVID and what its impacts are on the respiratory system,
Sure.
but it can damage your lungs and it can seriously affect your athletic ability. So that's why I'm very much worried with some of these athletes, not even in just football, but in other sports, right? So that's why, like, I understand we all want to see sports back, but at the same time, we can't compromise the health of our players because guess what? You can have a situation where a player can't play again because they develop, you know, a serious respiratory issue,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
But I do believe that if the league can have it to where the players, you know, can avoid infection, and based off of the fact that, hey, we're not going to be able to go to Oxnard to do a training camp, and we're staying at home.
Yeah.
I just think that ultimately, I think the Cowboys have a little bit of an advantage if we're being honest. I mean, how do you feel on that? You know, just having the extra preseason game under our belt and just the facilities that the Cowboys have. How do you feel about their preparation going into the season?
Man, don't ask me because I'm biased because I feel like we're going to win every single game this year.
Well, yeah, obviously. No,
I feel like we go smoke. I feel like this means nothing. I feel like the other teams, they aren't as prepared as us. They not as good as us. They ain't got no film on what we doing because all the damn staff is new. So what are we doing?
I mean, that's a good point, too. I mean, we don't know what we're going to see from the staff, and for all we know, you know, I think that the Cowboys have a very much well-equipped set of technology and all these resources available to the team that I think some teams might not have. And I think considering the fact that if you look at how the schedule is, you might have some games that might be easier. Like, for example, I know many people were talking about that Seattle game, right?
Right.
Where people were like, well, that's going to be a tough game. But, you know, Seattle's mantra is, hey, we got the 12th man, you know. We have one of the loudest stadiums in the league, but if you only allow 20,
go ahead.
What's that?
Go ahead. That's a good point. Go ahead.
No, and like and based off of the information I've been reading up on with Seattle, they might only allow like 10,000, 20,000 people at the most in the stadium. So you might have that noise not being an issue, so you can cancel out that factor. Now, that's huge because guess what? If you're going into an environment like that, it can make some going on the road a bit easier to win games. That doesn't mean it's a guarantee you're going to win a game, but for damn sure it's going to affect things. And then, you know, who knows? Maybe you get all the hard road games out of the way, and then if things do happen to open up and they start reopening the stadiums where they can go to full capacity, then you might be sitting at like a very good like 6-2, 7-1 record, and you beat teams that were tough road games.
Well,
so I think that's a very key.
Cardo. First of all, what one or two teams you think gonna beat us in the front end of the schedule? I'm just listening. Who do you think gonna beat us in the front end of the schedule, sir?
Well, me personally, I think we can beat every damn team on the schedule.
That's how you're supposed to feel. Yeah, wrong with you, dog. But go ahead. I'm listening. My bad.
No, but I didn't want to go on for long, but I did want to just bring that point up for like the viewers to have that topic of conversation going forward. So
I think what's going to end up happening, No Space Cowboy, and if anybody want to call in and give their thoughts on this or their thoughts on anything, 515-606-5187, access code 309-104 is on the screen. You can't miss it. I hate when people get my chat, but like, how I call the show. I think what's going to end up happening is that I don't think there's going to be a lessened thing. I just think that they just going to take the hit on the money, and they just going to have to run their team out, man. They just going to have to take that L for this season and just run the team out because they get money through TV deals also. You know what I mean? So Fox may be like, all right, I need 6 Cowboy games. So as long as they can accommodate those 6 Cowboy games for Fox or whatever, I think they're going to be good on that. But like I said, man, you know what I mean? So like what you going to do? You going to have me like on the 50 and somebody in the nosebleeds and they COVID travel down the bleachers and hit the back of my neck. It's the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a huge factor because some of the designs of the stadiums, typically the stadiums have been built to where, air circulates down onto the field, which, considering this virus is a respiratory type of disease, it can definitely spread a hell of a lot better, especially if the stadium's built like that.
Right.
Now, again, we don't know how stadiums will go about things, whether they have only a certain amount of people in the sections. They're not allowed to be in certain sections. We don't know that. But I think that either way, I think we should be fine as long as we know what the hell we're doing, which I have confidence our team does. I think we'll be fine going into training camp. I think we'll get all our players good to go. I think we'll get Dak signed. I think we'll be fine going into training camp and stuff like that. So I don't have any issue to fret at all. So.
And buddy, I tell you what, like I know a lot of people have never watched football with me before, but I hollers. I scream. I get real loud.
Right? I'm the same way.
So I don't want nobody with COVID screaming, just screaming with their mouth wide open. It's gonna be it's gonna be a weird situation. It won't be normal till next year. But as long as we get football this year, as long as you win the Super Bowl, they're not gonna put an asterisk and say, "Oh, that's the COVID Super Bowl. Y'all ain't had crowds. That don't count." They better not let Dallas win that damn thing because I'm on their ass if they didn't. Space Cowboy, plug your show, sir.
Yes, sir. If you guys haven't already, you can subscribe to me at Space Cowboy 17. I'll drop a link momentarily. Also, my Dak video essay is out. You guys should check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten pretty good reviews from it, so I recommend you educate yourself if you don't know what's going on about Dak and all the myths that are out there, so that you can help weaponize yourself against the I Am Legend monsters that say Dak is trash.
Talk to him.
All right, Voch. Thank you so much for having me on, man.
Take it easy, my guy. Yeah, we're going to get him up out of here. So I got two callers. Y'all just kind of hang tight real fast. Y'all just give me 30 seconds real quick. Y'all just give me one real fast second just to kind of get this last little bubble in my grid situation going. And then I'm going to get back to y'all calls. Don't go nowhere. Trust me, I'm looking right at you. 972, you up next. 813, you on deck. I had a thought the other day, right? And, when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about going live, I had this in my mind to talk about, right? So Gerald McCoy is a vegan now, and he's like 285 pounds or so, or something like that, and he's gonna be playing 3-tech with us. So I was thinking like how that work. I was thinking like how would that work, and I had to do my research, right? I just kind of clicked it up to see what defensive tackles or what 3-techs in particular, because 1-techs can get kind of heavy on you, but what 3-techs are 285 pounds or so, and will that be too light for us? Because we ain't trying to be light in the ass because we've been that. Even though Gerald McCoy is better than Malik and they roughly weigh the same, they the same size relatively, Gerald still has a little more kick than Malik does. And I had to go watch some Aaron Donald film, right? Interesting, because I think Aaron Donald is a better pass rusher than he is a run defender. Let me say that. And when I was doing my Cowboy versus Ram conversation, that's kind of the conclusion that I came up with anyway, whether it was Cowboys beating the hell out the Rams last year or it was Cowboys, Rams in the playoffs or whatever. You were kind of able to deal with Aaron Donald as a 3-tech in the run game because he's 280 some odd pounds, right? The problem is Aaron Donald when he racks up 20 sacks in a year. That's what makes Aaron Donald weird. So what you got to do is you got to put somebody huge right next to him. So when Ndamukong Suh doesn't exist for Aaron Donald anymore, that front seven looks a little different, right? But when you have that big heavy person next to Aaron Donald, you can kind of supplant some of that size. Aaron Donald gave 10 of his pounds to Ndamukong Suh, and they were able to live in that space. Even though I think Ndamukong Suh shouldn't be playing nose for anybody. I think he's another 3-tech, just another big ass 3-tech. But with that being said, right, Gerald McCoy is a broccoli eating vegan now, and he lost about 30 pounds. He could be a little more quick. He could be more agile, have better movement. So in my mind, I know that we're going to be attacking with our front seven and all that, but how do we feel about that? Chat box, I'm gonna kind of talk to y'all for a little bit, and we're gonna get into the phones or whatever. Gerald McCoy was whatever he was last year because he was a little husky. He was a little big and he had a little extra on him, right? So he wasn't able to move like he once did. What was so good about Gerald McCoy all these years was never him being big. It was about him being strong and him having first step. So if you put that in perspective of, okay, cool, he's still going to be strong. He's just 280 now. So maybe his first step will be better. And the size would be Dontari Poe, because Dontari Poe ain't went vegan nowhere. Dontari Poe ain't vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, veterinarian. He ain't none of that. Dontari is a smooth 340 on a good day before the team meals. You know what I mean? So would that be the dynamic we're looking for? Because part of my argument is, well, if D-Law was the most double-team defensive end in football last year, and Robert Quinn was like second or third most double-team D-end, we weren't getting nothing from the inside. You know what I'm saying? Antoine Woods wasn't beating people one-on-one. Malik Collins wasn't beating people one-on-one. If they double-team D-Law again and, you know, they end up dealing with whoever's on the other side, say Dontari ends up getting, they better double-team Dontari. Dontari don't play one-on-one blocks, right? The only missing piece of this thing is, can Gerald McCoy beat one-on-one blocks? Malik Collins couldn't. Can Gerald McCoy? I want to put that on y'all mind before I get into these phones. So I'll be looking in the chat box while I'm on the phone, but I also want y'all to call in and tell me how you feel. Let's get into the phones then. 972, you up next. Who this?
Hey, Voch, this is Mark calling in from the DFW area. Appreciate everything you do. Really like the draft film, you know, aggregating all the plays so you can kind of get a good feel for the player and not really have to comb through all the hours of film. So I appreciate you doing that out for us.
Hey, shouts out to you, Mark. Thanks for calling in. What you got for the show, brother?
So I got a quick question for you, because I'm kind of getting lost on this whole subject. I'm curious how your thoughts on how Mike Nolan is going to do for our defense, because to me it seems like it's been a minute, several years since he's been a successful defensive coordinator, and it's kind of bringing me back to the whole Monty Kiffin that we had back in, was it 2013 or maybe even before that, where it's kind of like an older defensive coordinator that we're assuming is going to recapture some magic. And I think that's going to go the same point with Mike McCarthy on offense. Just kind of curious on how you think these coaches may have somehow changed or got better after kind of staling out years ago.
Mm-hmm. Thing about Mike Nolan, right? First of all, we know he's going to have talent. Regardless of whatever this defense did last year, we know that it was a talented bunch. We're not just out there with miscellaneous people. So we know Mike is going to have that. All Mike got to do is be better than Chris Richard, and he good. That's all he got to do. All he got to do is, we didn't disguise anything on defense last year, let's disguise it. Oh, we were not a pressure team. Let's pressure them. I said on my last video, if any of these corners, not just Diggs, right, but any of these corners, if they get 2 interceptions, we lose our mind, because we wasn't getting interceptions last year. So if you do the slightest improvement over what we had, that's it. You can let me be the damn defense coordinator. I think I could do a little better than Chris Richard. That's just how I feel. But go ahead, Mark.
So I think that, and I think we've all kind of pointed it out now that Chris Richard may have been teaching some poor technique from the defensive back position, right? I was always wondering, like, why the hell are they not trying to catch the damn ball? Like, just go for it. Go for it. So I guess the next question is for Donovan Wilson, the safety out of A&M. I think he popped in the preseason because he was the one safety that was actually going for the damn ball.
Sure.
Sorry for cussing, but I don't know why. Do you think he may get a little bit more of a shot to get a starting position, or at least get more playing time now that Jeff Heath's out?
I would like him to, because hysterical Clinton Dix is only on deck for like 1 year, $4 million, and I don't even think that's really guaranteed like that. So he's not even guaranteed to be here, right? So if we show up to training camp and Donovan Wilson is a better free safety than him, or if Donovan is a really good strong and Xavier's a better free than Clinton Dix, or if Donovan's a better strong than Xavier, whatever the combination of safeties that we end up running with, I think everybody got a chance, because we just don't have one top dog at that position. We just kind of like committed the thing. And if our pass rush is good and our cornerbacks are good, then maybe we don't need safety to, be a top dog spot anyway. But if Donovan Wilson is the only one that's getting hands on passes, then if Mike McCarthy is as better than Jason Garrett as you think he is, I wouldn't expect Mike to look at that and be like, oh well, he's the only one getting interceptions. Let's not play him. I don't expect Mike McCarthy to say that, because when you get a new regime, one thing goes out of the window, and that's seniority, right? I think a lot of guys ended up playing because of Jason Garrett's relationship with seniority. And he's not wrong, because every football program that you ever go to, it ain't Jason Garrett. It could be high school, it could be Pee Wee, even when I was in college, right? The seniors get the nod, the juniors get the nod, right? Just who's been there longer. So I think you're more prone to put Jeff Heath out there over Donovan Wilson because he has seniority. But with this brand new regime, ain't none of y'all my guys except the 7 kids we just drafted and the 5 free agent guys. I don't think seniority exists anymore. So if Donovan shows up better than this dude that I didn't draft, Xavier Woods, cool.
So I have another suggestion. Why, do you think the Cowboys would be interested in going after Malik Hooker, the safety out of the Colts? Because that's what I've dreamed about, is having a true free safety that can go sideline to sideline. I understand he has some injury concerns, but if we can get Wilson up from A&M, get him a little bit more reps, but finally have a free safety on a prove-it one-year deal, get first dibs on maybe a contract extension after that, much cheaper than Jamal Adams. I mean, for me, that's the kind of deal that I'd be looking for, similar to Robert Quinn. If he bounces, then we can get a compensatory pick. Thoughts on that?
I'm a huge fan of Malik Hooker. Been a fan of him since he was coming out of Ohio State in the draft coverage or whatever. He's one of those guys that can line up on the right hash and make a play on the left sideline. He's one of the handful of frees that can do that. And he's a true free safety. The problem is I don't want to give up resources. I like my resources. You know what I mean? I don't want to give up a first-round pick for Jamal Adams because that first-round pick could be CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? So if I can get Malik Hooker for cheap, we could talk about it.
A third?
Damn, dog. You know how much I like third-round picks?
Hey, man, we can possibly flip that back with another compensatory pick if he balls out this year.
You know how much I love my third-round picks, dog? No, sir. If it's a day 3 pick, we can always talk about it. We can always talk about day 3 picks. And I like fourth-round picks.
Fourth-round pick or later.
I like fourth-round picks, too. But we can at least talk when it comes down to fourth-round picks. I was just talking about selling your soul earlier, right? Like, those are the picks that you make your team with. Those are the picks where you don't have to sell your soul. We don't have to go buy a receiver because our third-round pick, Michael Gallup, is so good. He's really, really good. We don't have to go buy corners because, hey, Jordan Lewis can just go run around and just follow people as a third-round pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like our third rounds because we normally hit on them. Like, we may have missed on like 3, but pick rounds 1, 2, and 3, we normally hit on those guys. I don't want to get rid of a hit pick and mess up my compensatory equation just to go get Malik Hooker when I don't think we're a team that's in the market for free safety anyway.
Isn't right now, aren't we past that window where it could affect the compensatory pick? I could be wrong, but I thought I heard that somewhere.
I could be wrong too, but I'm still nervous. Plus, watch this though, right? Because we ain't just trying to win a Super Bowl this year, right? If you can win a Super Bowl next year and next year, you'll be even more, cool. Let's not give away anything to get Malik Hooker. If they don't want to re-sign him, let Malik become a free agent, and we'll throw money at him when it's time for him to, to sign somewhere.
So the way I would see it, and if I was going to argue the other point, is if you look back when Philadelphia made their run, they got Timmy Jernigan, they got a couple of other free agents. I think they got Malcolm Jenkins a year or two prior to that on a relatively cheap deal or potential trade. I think Denver did a few similar, roster construction moves where they got a couple players, DeMarcus Ware, a few other guys on that defense for cheap short-term contracts, and then see how it goes afterwards. And I understand you don't want to mortgage the future. Maybe a first and a Michael Gallup or Jamal Adams maybe is a little too rich, but I think there's a good marriage between both, right? Not just going all out to sell, the farm and the house for just one player, but if you trust your history in drafting these guys, eventually at some point you're going to let them go. You're going to get some compensatory picks.
Sure.
But there's an opportunity, in my opinion, to go after a player that, know is a ball hawking free safety that we haven't had, man, since maybe Ken Hamlin was the best one that I remember. Got like 4 interceptions back in 2007. I think that this is one of those opportunities where you can get a player, make him fall in love with the city of Dallas, fall in love with being a Cowboy, and then you can maybe sign him on a longer term, a cheaper type of deal, maybe similar to like Amari Cooper, where it wasn't true market value. I'm all about building up that defense. I've seen us invest a lot on offense, and it's fun. It sells the jerseys. But man, I've dreamed about a defense. I got some 30-something interceptions, holding people to 20 points or less consistently, and really get the ball back on some short-term fields for that offense. I think that that's one of the best ways to do it on the back end.
It'll be nice. And, based on what you were saying, like, what is that middle ground? I think we're at that middle ground, when we go find Robert Quinn for $28. Just for a 5th-round pick and a $100 Walmart gift card. You know what I'm saying? And he comes on our team and he gets 10.5 sacks, and instead of paying him 13, we send him to Chicago. He go makes 13 over there, and then we just move on with the next plan. Now we take that $13 million and we split that amongst 4 people. That'll be Randy, Bradley, and I. Alden Smith, who I think is going to be really good, depending on what your expectation of him is, and Tyrone Crawford. So you just turn Robert Quinn into 4 people. You save your money, and you kind of build this Voltron robot, and you get better in the run game at right defensive end. You know what I'm saying? So I think.
Do you think we're better off? Do you think, real quick, and I know you got to finish off real quick, do you think we're better off at right end with that rotation of Randy Gregory and Alden Smith? I personally, as much as I know that Alden Smith is a freak show, I think eventually if you take enough hits to the thighs, you take enough hits to the hip, you get thrown around a few other times, I'm worried it's going to take him till week 10 or 11 to get back, in shape. And I think same thing for Randy Gregory. And I just think we're going to have a hole on the right side of the pass rush that I'm just freaked out about.
That's my thing about those guys, right? If push comes to shove, all else fails, man, then Tyrone Crawford just be your full-time right defensive end. You know what I mean? If all else fails. And I don't mind Tyrone being out there. Injuries happen, but it's also modern medicine. I think his hip will be fine. What gives me hope about Randy Gregory and Alden Smith is some guys got to be current. Some guys can't sit out. Some guys, they got to keep those moves crisp. They got to practice every day. They got to work at it. Randy Gregory, Alden Smith, even guys like David Irvin, who ain't playing here no more, as long as they're in regular human shape, they roll off the bed better than people, right? Because like D-Law, and I had to sit up in my seat to do this, D-Law is really built on timing. He's built on precision. He's built on process. So he'll come off the ball and, punch you in the middle of the chest and control your right wrist and swim over the top, bend, and make a sack, and the timing is perfect. Randy
he's a worker bee for sure.
Randy just runs past people. Alden Smith just kind of run through people. And as long as they're in relative bodily shape, I think they're fine. We never seen Alden Smith play football sober before. Boy, let's see what that's like.
So you think we're gonna get? Ballpark predictions as far as what you're gonna see from the defense? I personally think it's gonna be at least more entertaining. I think it's gonna be a lot more boom or bust. I think we're gonna see a little bit more aggressiveness on the back end and obviously some blitz schemes. But I also think we're gonna be a little bit more vulnerable, and that's okay because hopefully we got the offense to back us up and make sure we keep the opposing offenses on their heels and just one-dimensional. Are you seeing the same thing?
I don't want to think.
Are you getting more sacks this year?
I don't want to think about anybody getting more sacks than Robert Quinn himself, right? But Kerry Hyder had like 1. Dorrance had 2. Joe Jackson had 0. You know what I'm saying? If you get 1 sack, you're better than Joe Jackson. You get 3, you're better than Dorrance. You get 2, you're better than Kerry. If we can hit those numbers, I think we'll be all right. And if we can, as a whole, get past 15, I think we're good to go. Plus, we have an extra element that we didn't have last year. We got a 340-pound one tech that's not a vegan or a vegetarian or a pescatarian or a veterinarian. Hopefully that helps with one-on-one situations. You know what I mean? And let him push the pocket a little bit. But that's all you got, bro?
Absolutely. Yeah, man. First time call. I appreciate you giving me some time today. I didn't get to listen to too much of the call earlier, so I can't really reflect on a lot of that other stuff. So I appreciate you giving me an opportunity, man.
Appreciate you, brother Mark. Just put you down platinum. Next time you call in, you'll go to the top. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, bud. Bye.
Yeah. Another first time caller, man. What is it about? What is it about 2020 that's making this show have all these first time callers? What's going on? Anyway, for those of you tuning in right now, I'm telling you, man, I got a very excited rollout plan for y'all, man. A lot of y'all have information. Some of you are privy to the rollout. I've talked to some of you about it. Vaughn from Shreveport, I kind of want you to tweet me, hit me on Twitter so I can go in your inbox and show you something, because I consider you to be one of the very privileged people in this, in this thing of ours. Rugalok, I also want you to hit me up on Twitter. I got some information for you as well, sir, that I want to, share with you or whatnot. This thing that we putting together is about to be immaculate, and I got this rollout planned. And the first part of the rollout was the new camera with the blogs and soliloquies or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that was the first part of the rollout. And I got a 5-stage channel improvement rollout that I got working on, right? And it's going to be fantastic. Boy, it's going to be fantastic. When I roll it out, it's going to be fire, man. You either at the table or you're on the menu. You know what I mean? Let's get into the callers then. We got a platinum caller. We're going to get Adrian up in here. Then 813, you're going to be after him, unless somebody else platinum calling in. Adrian, what's up, man?
What's going on, Voch? How's your weekend going? Or week going?
Everything good, my guy. Doski, Woski, Peasky, Whiskey, all that good stuff. What you got for the show?
So, what's been on my mind heavily is how do you think our offensive line is going to shake out with between the obvious two positions between center and left guard so far? How with the new coaching staff and the fact that no one spot's really secured other than probably Tyron Lyell and Zach Martin. How do you think that's going to work out?
What makes the center position interesting is that it's the only position in which you can hide somebody. Every play you can hide the center. So if you have a player that's not as good as the rest of the offensive line playing center, you can hide them. But that's the only position, that works for. So Joe Looney can exist for 16 games at center until you run into a team that got two great D tackles like the Rams, and then Ndamukong Suh picks up Joe Looney and drops him on top of Zeke, and I lose respect for him. So with that being said, Tyler Biadasz has a chance to be your starting center because you can hide him. Right? But I don't want him to be in a situation where he's in a fight by himself because I know he's not ready yet. I know offensive line is different. When you hop in there, you just got a day one wrestle with them grown men. I don't think he's ready for that right now. I think he's a center for the future. I don't think he's ready right now. I don't like Joe Looney playing there right now. I don't want Joe Looney at guard because you can't hide guards very much. So in a perfect world, what I would want, Connor McGovern has an offseason under his belt. He's been lifting NFL weights for 365 days. It's a difference between Dallas Cowboy weights and Penn State weights. I don't know. They just weigh different. They just weigh different. And he wasn't even playing last year because his titty was hurting. So all he did was lifted Cowboy weights all season. Connor McGovern is gonna be in off-season shape because he's gone through that. Tyler has not. So I'm playing Connor Williams at left guard. I'm putting Connor McGovern at center because he played center for 14 games his sophomore year at Penn State. Plus, we know that he was taking snaps. He was rotating in and out of center. So I know he can play center. And I'm letting Tyler Biadasz just kind of back those guys up, learn, lift those NFL weights, drink that milk, eat them steaks, potatoes, and get big. So next year, you're looking at a situation where it'll be Badass is your center. McGovern is battling Williams for left guard. And if Tyron Smith ever wakes up, goes out and says, I'm tired of this, just like Travis did, sporadically out of nowhere, then Connor Williams would be your left tackle of the future. In my personal opinion, if I had the easy button.
Yeah. And I would also say, for people that have all these cornerback woes about, and I mean, you've been talking about this so much about how, we've seen the reports about Chris Richard telling, hey, don't turn your head around, don't do this, don't do that. And I guess I'm kind of referring to myself as somebody that's come, I know it's just high school, but I played in a program where every year the coach is like, hey, we're going to teach the fundamentals every year, and making sure that everybody knows what they're doing every year. It helps those players that might not be as physically gifted play at a better level. When we have a Mike Nolan, when we get a better defensive backs coach that's going to say, hey, we're going to start from the bottom and then we're going to work on top of what you already know, pretty much. And
Yeah.
I think that people are going to be surprised on how much better or how much more focused our cornerbacks are going to be throughout the season.
That's another angle of this argument too. Like, I understand everybody want to burn their house down and just sell everything for a safety, but like, what if we not bad at safety? What if we secretly really, really good at safety? We just had a terrible ass safety instructor. You know what I mean? Like what if,
Right.
like what if Clinton Dix?
Everyone's been hating on Cheeto, and I think with Cheeto that everyone's like, oh, he's a bad corner. This and there's like he plays off coverage literally every play. Like our whole defense for most of the years where we have Byron bodied up on one guy playing tight coverage, and then on the other half we have Cheeto playing 10 yards off and just playing everything underneath. And it makes Cheeto look very, very bad. It's like, oh, Cheeto can't cover this, Cheeto can't cover that. The guy's fast. He's one of the fastest corners on the team. So you don't think that he's going to be able to stick with people. He's just being asked to say, hey, don't get burned. Don't get burned at all. And I think if we switch him to safety, I think that he'll have more production because he's going to be able to play everything in front of him the whole time because that's the best way he's been able to play football.
Sure. In the chat box, Nene say, does Chris Richard have a job? Chris Richard getting that damn $1,200 from the government player. Chris Richard ain't working. No, I just Googled, does Chris Richard have a job? And they showing me articles from like 2019. So
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, it's rough, man. And to your Cheeto point, I think Cheeto's a really good corner. We've only seen him get burnt one time, and that was the Robbie Anderson play versus Jets, and that was only because he just kind of, his eyes got lost. Like he was with Robbie, but his eyes and one of the safeties were out of position or whatnot. But besides that, Cheeto's always in good position every single time. He's in good position. He just got to get his head around and find the football.
No doubt.
So all you gotta do is teach him to just get his head around and find the football. That's it.
And I think that's why Jerry and Steven went on and said, "Hey, we're gonna let Mike McCarthy go out and pick out his staff versus dealing with the other one. Whenever your best wide receiver is arguing with your wide receiver coach or your linebackers coach isn't telling your guys how to do the right thing, or your defensive line's always swapping gaps every other play, and teams are running up the middle on us like there's nothing there. Sure. I think that I think there might be a few more bigger plays that teams might be able to get on us, but like everyone's been saying, we're going to be able to make bigger plays. We're going to be able to switch the ball over, and I also think with the addition of John Fossil, we're not going to have to push the ball 85, 95 yards every play. We had the most efficient offense, but it's hard to move the ball out of the 15-yard line when your back sitting in the end zone every drive, pretty much.
There's a very profound statement of you, Adrian. You made a lot of sense, and that's absolutely right. I think if you just put everything together, you put all the pieces, because every piece got a little better this offseason. Every piece has got a little bit better this offseason, and Brett Maher directly was responsible for 3 losses. If you just fix that, and you fix special teams, and you a little better on defense, you was 32nd special. You can't be no worse than 32nd on special. Ain't no 33rd. That's how bad you were on special teams. We looking behind us for a damn 33rd and wasn't nobody there. If you get a little better on special teams, I think this team will be all right, man. This team will be just
And I would say my last point is I think we'll have a lot better situational football play because, again, this is probably the best team that Mike McCarthy's been able to, Mike McCarthy didn't have a Zeke. He didn't have as good as the offensive line. He didn't have as good as wide receivers. His defensive line rotation isn't going to, never been this strong before. So I think with Mike, and everyone's like, oh, he hasn't been very good managing clock. Most coaches aren't. I mean, I think what we want the more out of this coaching staff is better situational play. Let Dak run the offense in the 2-minute because Dak's very, very good in the 2-minute when it comes to him running the offense. But situational football, better situational football is what we need more than anything else.
Understood, my guy. Understood. Adrian, this was a fantastic call, man. Appreciate you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I tell you what, man. Like I sincerely believe the Illuminati sent Brett Maher down here to sabotage the Cowboys. There's no way you can make a 58-yard field goal and miss the 30s. I don't understand. There's no way. That's not hyperbole. No, nobody's exaggerating. No. Brett Maher can make them 80-yard field goals, fam. But he missed the PATs. Them the ones we need the most. Damn, son. Let's get this call up in here. 813. What that is? Houston? Let's see what's going on here. 813, what up? Who this?
Hi, it's Josh from Florida.
Well, damn, my bad. What's good, Josh? What you got for the show?
Well, you guys kind of stole some of my thunder, but every sports head talks like the Cowboys is the same team from last year. That's so annoying. It's like the complete opposite of the team. We have a different head coach, different defensive head coach. We have different players, especially on the defensive line, and we have CeeDee Lamb and Alden Smith. And another thing, I feel like a lot of people are doubting Alden Smith, and that is a mistake. Have you guys seen his workout videos? I know he hasn't played football in 5 years, and like you said, he hasn't played sober football. This man is a beast. I'm not going to say like he's going to have 12 sacks, but he's going to destroy offensive lines, in my opinion. And I think CD is going to bring a lot to the offense because he's going to be an escape route. Like he's going to catch any ball that goes his way. Just look at his college numbers. That's not going to change. His hands are amazing. Yeah, and how I miss if you talked about Drew Brees any. I feel like Drew Brees is just very selfish, and he only thinks about his point of view and not the world's point of view. I actually was in the military. I don't think of the flag of just military. It represents a country, and if the flag is just cloth anyway. I mean, it's a symbol, yes, but it represents all of us. If we're not all whole, then it doesn't really mean anything, in my opinion. Yeah, that's mainly what I want to talk about. But I really do think that we are half glass empty. A lot of people are half glass empty right now, and I think our defensive line is going to be amazing.
Well, I'm gonna touch on 5 of your points there. First of all, sir, you shouldn't be listening to the national talking heads anyway. That's the first problem, sir. You don't need to be listening to ESPN, 3letternetwork.com. Stop listening. Just keep listening to your YouTube people. We only say things unless we mean it. So that's that. Alden Smith, right? I'm here to temper my expectations with him. So on the floor level, I'm saying, hey, if he gives me 1 sack, he's better than Joe Jackson, right? And that's my floor level expectation of him. The money side is good, the contract good. Alden Smith only gets $4 million if he gets 14 sacks. If he gets 14 sacks, I'd be glad to give him that little goofy ass $4 million. Yeah.
And the extension.
Right. That's that. You know how I feel about CeeDee Lamb, dog. Like CeeDee Lamb, he's only going to add to this offense. And if this offense had 41 drops last year, then that number goes down automatically. First of all, I think that number is not a real representation of this receiver group's hands. But CeeDee ain't going to drop them passes, so we absolutely get better there. You're right about that. In terms of this whole Drew Brees thing, man, I think people should stop asking for people's opinion and expecting them to think how we think, or just automatically assuming that they're going to think how you think about something. I know there's a lot of people that want to be like, oh, I need to hear from the white football players to hear what they got to say. Well, just be prepared for what they have to say, and that it may not necessarily coincide with what you have to say, because some of them might agree with you. Some of them may be on the same page with you. Some of them might be posturing for their brand and for the image. Some of them may be doing it. And I didn't want to say the word clout because I'm starting to hate the word clout. So I'm using posturing for their brand and image. That's a new word I'm using. But if they don't have the same opinion that you do, you shouldn't ask. Why are we going to Drew Brees for that kind of commentary anyway? Who cares what Drew Brees got to say about this? Like me personally, 28-year-old black man, I'm not looking for Drew Brees for the answers, because I know Drew Brees might not think like me. Aaron Rodgers may not think like me. We may not share that perspective. So I can't get mad that Drew Brees says something that I don't agree with. But on that same token, I didn't ask Drew Brees for his thoughts because I fully anticipated. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those kind of things. What up?
I have a question. I personally think Alden is going to be better than I forgot his name. McCoy that we got from the Bucks. Have you watched any of McCoy's game tape recently, like from last year? I haven't, but I know they let him go for a reason, or he
Gerald McCoy, Gerald McCoy was kind of husky last year, man. He's done some interviews talking about how much weight that he put on, and how he was just one step slower. And if you think about what was good about him in his Tampa Bay days or even his Oklahoma days, it wasn't him being a big guy. It was him having great first step, great punch. So he can still be as powerful as he is. I mean, just being a weight room, and that just kind of is what that is. But if he lost 15 pounds doing vegetarian slim fast, then his first step would be better. So if he gets a better first step and he is as powerful as he is, then maybe we get a better product of Gerald McCoy than what the Panthers got from him.
Oh yeah, the Panthers. Sorry. Okay, that makes sense. I hope he does better than what he did.
Yeah, man, no doubt.
That's my worry about on defense. That's my only worry on the defensive line. I don't have a worry about Alden Smith or Randy Gregory. He's the only one I actually had to worry about.
Don't you worry, my good sir. We're going to win the Super Bowl, and we're going to celebrate, and I hope we can celebrate together. Appreciate you, man. Josh, this is first time calling. I just put you down platinum. So next time you call in, you go with the other platinum listeners. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. La da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah, man, we got Ja Rule. Let's see what Ja Rule got to say about all this. About Drew Brees. Let's see. I bet my quarterback wouldn't have said it. Shouts out to Dak Prescott, man. He's donated $1 million to education and training, man. You and let me say this too, since I'm kind of in this bag too. Something else I want y'all to think about. Sometimes, and I'm not using the word clout because I hate it, but that's my new word I'm using. Posturing. Beware of posturing in a time like this, right? I know in this time in particular, we're looking for allies. We're looking for as many allies as we can find, right? And we do have some allies, but be aware of posturing. Some people doing this for fun. Some people doing this because they ain't got nothing else to do. Some people doing this because it makes them look cool. Be aware of posturing. Some people was like, well, Colin Kaepernick shouldn't have been protesting on company time. You can't go to your job and go protest and not get fired. Well, it seems like now the NFL is putting out statements and they want people to protest on company time all of a sudden. Interesting. Be aware of posturing. Another thing, when you see these corporations put out these statements, beware of posturing, because sometimes they just want to be in good graces with their consumer. Hey, we Walmart, we down with you. Look at our statement. Hey, you see that? We with you. But if you look at some of these statements, look for certain words in the statement. If they say we're with you, we're a family, with all love, peace, and happiness, all the good stuff, that's cool. But I want y'all to look at some of these statements that they put out. A lot of these statements don't say the word police at all. So if you're making a statement to be pro us, but you're not talking on the police side because you don't want to ruffle the feathers, then how poignant is your statement? I just want everybody to be aware of that when you navigate social media, y'all. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I haven't even tweeted in a week. I haven't tweeted in a week because Twitter's just been kind of, just one of them places it's just not good for your health if you're not, all that. I just want y'all to keep your eyes open for all that posturing, man. Let's go back to the phones, though. Drummer Cam, what's up, man?
Hey, Voch, how's it going?
Everything's cool, my guy. What you got for the show?
Oh, man. I was catching Space Cowboys 5K live this afternoon, and I brought it up there, but I'll bring it up here just because it's a different audience. I think one of the most underrated things about this football team is there are the right guys in key positions all the way from the coaching staff down to the players. You take Alden Smith and Coach Jim, the defensive line coach, Tom Sula.
Tom Sula,
right?
yeah.
That reunites Alden Smith with somebody he knows. That gives him a face, right? So, as a coach, if you have a player that buys into you and can preach on your behalf, that sits well with other players.
Right.
Or that should sit well with other players. And that's all over this team.
Sure.
That's just one. Look at Bones and Fossil. And all of these ties back to Mike McCarthy. Like, there's something in this team that goes beyond just. I just think there's some good lines of cohesiveness is really what I'm looking for, right? I think this is going to be a strong football team, Melody, this year because of that. Because these guys are going to work together real hard. Just out of everything that's going on, you're going to have, you got right voices in right places at all levels inside your locker room, and I think that's a really good thing to have.
There was this lesson I learned when I was playing football in high school. Coach Evans in the chat box, coach, just kind of holler at me if you still here. You ain't got to call in, and I just want to see that you in the chat box still. But I remember when I was playing ball, right? I was playing against Hattiesburg High School, and we was on the way to the playoffs or whatever. Natchez High School was locked into the playoffs, and we lost to Hattiesburg or something like that. But we were so happy that we made the playoffs that we played Hattiesburg whack, and we lost, and we got embarrassed, and we didn't show any pride about it. You know what I mean? Like, we had Bulldog jumping jacks, then we had Pride jumping jacks, and coach was like, y'all might as well not even do Pride jumping jacks because of how y'all practicing and because of how y'all playing, and it was embarrassing to have to hear that and then get whooped by Hattiesburg the next day. So much that it fired us up, and we had 3 good practices in a row going in the pedal, and we smoked the shit out of pedal in the playoffs. I said that to say sometimes football players, when you get stripped of your pride and you get beat up on and you get embarrassed and you get talked all the way up, big bad Cowboys, just to go 8-8 and look whack, I think that does something to you. So what I think is we have a very young team. Like, Amari Cooper's 24 years old, Tyron Smith 28 years old, Dak 25, Zeke 24 or something like that. We got a young team, but we have a very veteran team, guys that have games under their belt. So you want to talk about leadership, we got guys that have been there. So I don't think that this team would allow this roster to get lackadaisical next year. You know?
Right. Yeah, 100%. And the man, I just can't wait for football. I just started thinking about this offense, and I just started going nuts because, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what this defensive line turns into. I can't wait till we see Randy Gregory play and Alden Smith play again. I'm really anxious to see a lot of this on paper when training camp starts. And, if they're going to have it in Frisco and they're going to, luckily I live out here, so if they're going to have it up in Frisco and it's going to be open to the public, I might have to get away for a couple of games and go check that, for a couple of days and go check that out.
Because we going to win the Super Bowl, player. What you mean, dog?
Yeah.
There's a couple of variables in play, of course. Like of course they may not have it open to fans, but if it's open to fans and I'm in town and I make that trip, Me-Law and Big Game James might do some meet and greet type of deal, to fist bump some people because we ain't shaking hands because of COVID and and all that kind of stuff. Just to kind of meet some people, we may pull that off.
Yeah, cool.
Mm-hmm.
It should be fun. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'll let you get back to it, and I appreciate what you're doing. It's good stuff, and I'm looking forward to that Super Bowl this year.
All right, Drummer Can, appreciate you. Indubitably. Salute.
Baby, man. Have a good one.
Yeah. Chat box, let me ask you a question because this was brought to my attention early. I just want to ask the chat box a question before I get back into the phones. What words do I use a lot? Right. What words do I just use a lot of? Let me know. Because in my mind, I use the word hyperbole a lot or hyperbolic, but someone told me I don't use hyperbole as much. Someone told me that I like the word soliloquy more than hyperbole. I don't really remember using the word soliloquy outside of my soliloquy videos. So chat box, if you're listening, just give me a list of words that I use. Maybe I use a lot or maybe I use too much. I'm just curious on my word count, please. I know I use indubitably. Look at the chat box. Look at indubitably. Look. I do use indubitably a lot, and I think the only reason y'all said that because I said that. I just said it on the last call. I think that's the only reason y'all said that. It's fresh in your mind. You heard that. Come on. Come on. Indubitably. Y'all make me sick. 360, what up? Who this?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Rolly. Calling out of South Texas.
What's crackin' Rolly? What you got for the show?
Not much, man. It's because, honestly, I don't know. I listen to your show a lot, and I know I'm not sure if you have a topic going on, but I just want to talk about the Cowboys because, honestly, I listen to you, like, almost every week, and, like, honestly, you're throwing knowledge out there to the real Cowboy fans, the real Cowboy people that care about it. The Cowboys, you know what I mean?
Talk to him, Rolly. Time out. Let me just say something to chat. I do use nuance a bunch. I use the hell out of nuance. I think I say nuance more than indubitably. Good job. Go ahead, Rolly. I'm listening to you. Let's talk Cowboys, whatever you want to talk about. This is an open forum. I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is your show. Go ahead.
All right. Let's go. Look, come on, man. Look, everything that we're getting right now with CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Our defense is stacked, but don't get me wrong. Last past season, Tony Pollard. I guarantee he's gonna be the dark horse for this season coming up.
Sure.
Like I know him and CeeDee Lamb. Like they're kind of gonna compete, but Tony Pollard, man, I just can't stop like looking at his videos. Like I feel like he's gonna like blow up.
Sure.
What do you think about that, man? Like, I've been really wondering, like, what you had thought about that. I know you haven't talked about it in a while.
Tony Pollard, my cousin, not in real life, but
yes, sir.
But how I want this equation to work, and I've said this a few times, but there's going to be a handful of people that probably didn't hear me say it. If you look at Mike McCarthy when he was kind of doing Green Bay things, right? He had like a 3 running back situation. It was Cheeseburger Lacey that was getting big carries. James Starks, who was getting miscellaneous carries. Then there was Ty Montgomery, who was getting like receiver stuff, and he'll get some carries every now and then, right? I think that's gonna be Zeke, Tony Pollard, and whoever the new guy is, the backup running back, that'll be the James Starks role. Because the thing about it, even though James Starks was the second running back, Ty Montgomery got more play time because he'll line up at receiver sometimes. He'll line up out wide sometimes. Like then he'll do backfield stuff. He'll catch passes. So
Yeah.
Tony could go from backup quarterback to full blown auxiliary athlete guy. But then again, maybe that's because Mike McCarthy didn't have a bunch of receivers. We have receivers now, so I think as long as they use their personnel properly, I think they'll be fine. I say all the time, if Voch was the damn offense coordinator, we'll win the Super Bowl tomorrow. I say that all the time.
Oh shit.
I say that all the time.
I bet, man.
So if
no, it's because it's exciting because they're mentioning everybody, but they're always forgetting Tony Potter. Like he's still on the team, and like this guy, like honestly, he's on another level. He's that yak guy, that guy that will get you those extra yards that you're always talking about.
Sure. I say yak guy a lot. Sure, 100%. Yeah, man, it's hard to mess this up, man. It is hard to mess this up. And if you're a professional, how about this, right? John Fox, all right? He used to coach Carolina in the 90s. Then he kind of fell off, got fired, like went to Denver and won a Super Bowl with him. John Fox didn't have to be spectacular because that team was so good. You know what I mean? Like that Denver Super Bowl team was like one of the best defenses of all time. If you just don't mess it up, you'll be fine. And I think Mike McCarthy's in a very similar situation than John Fox is. Right? Just kind of get through it. Get through it.
Yeah.
Use the damn skill and just don't lose ball games. You'll be fine.
Because honestly, in a long time, this is the most complete team I haven't seen in a very long time.
I said that shit last year, though.
With a new coach coming up, like it's just like look what we did last year with Garrett, with close to 5,000 yards passing.
Sure.
Like it was like I can't wait. Like it's gonna be different, but
yeah,
they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it.
Right. I'm with you, man.
Hey, Voch.
I'm with you 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I appreciate the call. I appreciate the answer, bro.
Hey, man, you already know what it is, man. Appreciate you for calling. Rolly, this your first time calling in, something like that?
Yeah, I'll keep calling for sure, man. I love listening to you. Like I love talking Cowboys, and honestly, you speak the truth, like, 'cause you speak the truth, man. There are Cowboys fans. I know what you're talking about, but there's some out there that really understand what's really going on, and like really, you're speaking the truth, man. You like you and Law Nation. You guys are really my favorite.
I got you, man. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate the support, man. I just put you down platinum, so next time you call in, you'll go to the top of the list, man. You know what I mean? Salute.
Yes, sir. Take care, man.
Yes, sir. Rolly. Hang up the phone. Oh, that's why I say turn the eyes down. Oh man, let's get Cardinal fan here. Cardinal fan, what's up, sir?
Yo, Voch, the man that you love to hate, coming out of Cowboy State. Voch don't like his profile because Voch got a lot of style. So the man is on his trail. Damn. They want to take Voch to jail. But if you do, I'll make the bail. Because I know a lot of rich females. What's up, Voch?
You better not, sir. I better not go to jail. What's good, bro? Everything?
Man, I just wanted to put you on notice right now that the Cardinals are the real deal. Let me just put that out there right now.
Sure.
Just remember I said it. What's your thoughts on the Cardinals, Voch?
I think the Cardinals will be good. As long as Kyler makes
we play the Cowboys this year.
You're gonna smoke the shit out y'all too. But as long as Kyler makes his
I get an extra ticket, you roll with me?
Not this year, man. COVID. COVID is let that shit die down a little bit. And we'll talk about it next time. But as long as Kyler Murray takes the next step and y'all play a little bit of defense, and as long as y'all don't get too cute with Isaiah, I think everything will be cool. Cardinals be straight.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody, hit like, hit subscribe, donate a couple bones to this man.
Somebody
He's
called
the
you
real
Vanilla
deal.
Ice.
I appreciate you, Voch.
Somebody called you Vanilla Ice. Appreciate it, man. Salute.
Later.
Man, Carter fans, just, he like to just come in, show love, and leave, man. That's all, man. You can't hate on that, man. Let's go. Malibu Most Wanted, hilarious. Sure. Mike from San Antonio. What's cracking like?
Oh, I done need you. Give me 1 second, Mike.
Man, Mike sound like he in a damn high speed chase, boy. Somebody chasing it. God damn. What you, huh?
You caught me at work, man. You caught me at work, and I love when your live stream came on the feed, and I got excited, so I have to sneak away.
Enemy Mike.
Your questions.
turn your vehicle down. What's up, my guy?
Alrighty, buddy. I guess I'll make it quick. Is it fair, and this question is going to segue into the conversation, is it fair to judge an interior lineman, offensive lineman, on his ability to play tackle?
No, because
is that a fair? No.
Because they're two.
I mean, you already know where I'm going with this, so.
Right. They're two different positions, two different skill sets, two different jobs, and one offensive lineman isn't better or worse than another because of the spot that they play. It just takes different skills.
I mean, because I fully believe Looney is the odd man out. I don't like the way he plays. I didn't even like when he filled in for Travis Frederick. I thought he was just terrible. Him getting to the second level was one of his weaknesses. And Connor Williams, I don't think people give enough credit for his year 2 leap.
Right.
I think prior to his injury, he was playing pretty damn well. His feet were great. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is I think Cowboys fans that don't listen to your show should be okay with him moving to left tackle.
Well, see, this is the problem, though.
That is it.
This is the problem. The late, great Black Phillip said, have your opinion. Don't let it have you. You know what I'm saying? You don't never want to be so tied up into a thought process that you can't grow from it. And that's real talk. What I think happens is so many people hated Connor Williams his rookie year that they can't grow from it. And the same people that's kind of hating Connor Williams, they watch football drunk one time, broadcast view, bathroom breaks, and they don't watch film again. You know what I mean? So I don't listen to what those people have to say about my son, Connor Williams.
And it's funny because, I feel like staff on NFL teams do that too because your boy Xavier got paid to go with Ed Blocks in Cincinnati. I feel bad for Joe Burrow. I really do.
Su'a-Filo probably won't even be starting. I hope he's not starting. If he is, I mean, hey. But
they paid him. They paid him to go block or at least be a depth guy. Hey, you can have him.
Well, Cincinnati paid the Giants had this offensive lineman that was terrible, a cat named Bobby Hart. They paid him too. So I guess they just into paying everybody's worst offensive lineman and just starting them. I don't know.
All right. The reason why I brought that conversation up is because you do a lot of film work and we watch, and I think Connor's natural ability to play left tackle is there. I mean, he did it at Texas and he did it well.
Yes, sir.
I don't think his arms are a problem, and I think him playing in the interior actually helps him in that future development at left tackle to be that aggressive left tackle of the future. And I think he can make that next step.
Right. 100%.
And then last question, I'm going to shoot it at you, and then I got to hang up because boss is looking at me.
Don't get fired.
How valuable is Tyrone Crawford? Actually, repeat. Let me back that up. Gerald McCoy, Don Terry Poe, Tyrone Crawford, or David Irving, Malik Collins, Daniel Ross, Damian Lewis,
right.
the group that was there prior.
Right.
Who do you feel more comfortable in the interior?
I think this group
and
is.
I'm gonna hang up now, Voch.
Go ahead.
I gotta hang up.
Just keep listening. Don't get fired.
You have a great live stream, buddy.
Right.
Later, Voch.
And look, you gotta love Enemy Michael, man. He's risking his livelihood and throwing the phone out the window for us. Just while you listening or whatever, man. I think this year's D line is probably gonna be a little better than that one. Even though I was a big fan of David Irvin, bro, and I think David Irvin was going to revolutionize one tech. David Irvin was going to invent big, tall, long arm, not fat one tech, right? And just natural ability his way into being one of the best D tackles. Like what DeForest Buckner is right now, David Irvin was not only that first, but he was going to be better than that. He was going to revolutionize it. David Irvin just don't love football, man. He just does not love football, indubitably. Y'all funny with the words that Voch say. Y'all pretty hilarious. Y'all pretty hilarious. Nuance is absolutely a word I say a bunch, man. It's absolutely a word I say a bunch. All right, let's get back to the phones and see what y'all talking about. Let's go. We just answer y'all questions, man. Whatever it is y'all want to talk about, I'm here for you. If you want to call into the show, the number is 515-606-5187, access code 309-104. Let's get back into it. We got Fairly.
Yeah, Fairly.
Yeah, what's up, my guy?
Fairly.
What's happening?
What's going on?
Everything.
Mississippi, baby.
Everything, my guy.
Everything's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Man, yo, big fan of the show, man. You big game, James, Law Nation, that late night hype, man. Boy, y'all be, man, the info. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Y'all be dropping knowledge.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
And I just want to get on here, man. Just say, pretty much just hit on what you was hitting on, man. Like, shit, with David Irvin and I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's not coming back, but
nah, he ain't coming back.
Man, I think D-Law, man, gonna have a monster year because he's gonna have a push up front that he's never had before. They're not gonna be able to double team or triple team.
There you go.
So the numbers are gonna shoot back up.
You know what?
Offense.
You know what? That's another point that we haven't really talked about. Like when D-Law has had his big sack numbers, he has had adequate people playing on the inside. Like when David Irvin was really tearing shit up, that was when D-Law was giving you double digit sacks. And I always say, man, that if they're gonna double team D-Law and Robert Quinn, the guys on the inside need to be doing something. And we coming from situations where the guys inside wasn't really doing nothing. You know, they wasn't really winning those one-on-one blocks. So as long as we can win on the inside, I think our DN's gonna go back to winning on the outside. You're right.
I agree 100%. And that, you know, everybody say, you know, he only got 5 sacks. I mean, we still had no interior pressure last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? Robert Quinn did his thing, yeah, but that's only because they couldn't swing the double teams, you know, both ways. They had to let somebody free.
Right.
But like you said, that interior active fool, man, it's gonna be on like 95, baby.
There it is.
Shoot. Well, man, that's pretty much what I wanted to get on. I had a lot more other stuff to say, but mine just went blank as soon as I got on.
I ain't doing nothing else, man. What you think about this defense, man? What you think about Alden Smith? What you think about CeeDee Lamb and them? We ain't doing nothing else. We chilling.
Man, look at here, man. Alden, man, I just can't wait to see him get back on that field, man. Like I say, yeah, he's a little up there in age, but yo, the man hadn't done anything in 5 years, so it wasn't like he had time to wear his body down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like he's gonna still be fresh. He might not be what he was, but man, if he can be, half what he was, man, he was a monster. You know what I mean?
Right. That's my thing, man.
I feel like, man, I feel like he get in there. I feel like he'll beat Tyrone Crawford out. You know, he's not gonna start, but I feel like he's gonna end up with the starting job. I feel like he's gonna get us about between 6 and 8 sacks.
2 things about him, man. We know he fresh, and we know he's sober. That man got 19. That man got 19 sacks drunk out of his mind. That man got 7 sacks drunk.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
that man got 7.
Clear head now. Oh my God.
He got 7 sacks drunk and high. He got 5 sacks drunk, high, and out of shape. So just imagine.
Exactly.
Boy, what they talking about?
That's why I said, man, we good. Man, we good for at least, man, 6 to 8. You know what I mean? And that's just getting his feet back in.
Fair enough.
It's gonna be another one of those Robert Quinn situations. I feel like.
Hey, man.
Like I say, especially with that defensive interior, man. Man, Poe, and then we got Neville Gallimore, man, rotational pieces.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be on.
There you go, man.
And I feel like that's gonna free up Wolf Hunter and Jalen Smith. You know what I mean? They can get back to how they were. They ain't got them damn linemen coming and busting them in their face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So, man, I just feel like, man, I feel like I feel like our defensive backs, yeah, we're a little weak there, but the front seven are gonna make it. They're gonna have to get the ball out so quick that the defensive backs are not gonna be as important. You know what I mean?
Pressure will help you. Pressure will help your safeties.
Pressure would definitely help because, man, I tell you, man, it just, I ain't even gonna say last year, man. Man, for a long time now, man, we just watch people just march down the field on us. Like, it's so frustrating. Like, everybody got so much time to throw the ball.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's just, like I say, man, it's a whole new thing, man. I'm glad Coach Clapp gone, man. He should have been gone a long time ago. We probably would have had a couple Super Bowls right now. Definitely should have won 1 or 2 with Romo.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, CD, oh, man. Oh, boy. I can't believe that happened, man. You called that one, bro.
Man.
I can't believe that happened.
I really think, though, man, that's going to be a moment that we just going to keep looking back on, man, just as a fan base, as a Cowboy family, as a community. We just going to look back on the day. Just look back on the day, like, man, you remember that motherfucker CeeDee Lamb made it to 17? And it's crazy, like, and I don't like patting myself on the back too much, but it kind of happened how I said it was gonna happen. Crazy.
It happened just like you said it was gonna happen. I was like, man, there's no way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought if there was any chance for us to get the top 3, it would have been Ruggs.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like they would have took Ruggs. I mean, I would have rather had Ruggs than Caleb on Chase, though.
Right.
But, just because, like I said, that speed to blow the top off the defense. And he can do a little route running, too. But, man, like you said, man, CD, oh, man, that's a big stuff, man. They're going to have a problem. Like, I love Randall Cobb. I hate we lost Randall Cobb.
Sure.
But, man, CD is like Randall Cobb and a half.
That's what I'm saying,
right
man.
now.
That's what I'm saying. CD
2-3
going
years from down the line, oh, my God, bro.
CD
It's
going
gonna be,
boogie.
man.
CD going
He
boogie.
got the right number on, boy. 88, he going to represent.
Yep.
And I'm like you, boy. We're going to be looking back and, shoot, I say 3 to 5 years, we're going to be looking back like we look, talking about this right now. Like, man, I can't believe he fell to us.
100%, man. 100%.
And I'm so happy they made the right decision, man. Best player available, bro. We'd have done that. Oh, my God, man. That damn Tristan Hill pick, man, I wasn't agreeing with that. I know we need that, but I just wasn't agreeing with it.
Right.
100%,
man. Hey, but great call though. you kind of blanked out, but we got through it. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Appreciate you for supporting. Appreciate you. The whole Cowboy. You know what I'm saying? Not just me, man, but even the, you know what I'm saying, late night hyping them, man. Go watch Foots. Go watch Nicoya, man. Watch everybody. Go watch Space Cowboy, man. This whole
man.
thing. Yeah.
Foots, man, that's my dude. Mark Holmes.
Yeah.
Man, like I said, man, YouTube, period, bro. Yeah, y'all doing y'all thing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I just wish I had the mouthpiece y'all got. Man, I be having so much to say, and it's like, I can't type the shit fast enough.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's like, hey, man, I appreciate you giving me this time, man. I'm going to let you get back to it. I'm going to keep listening.
100%, Mr. Wolf.
I'll put my next little comment in the comments.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
The one thing about CeeDee Lamb versus Randall Cobb, though, first of all, Randall Cobb is like 5'9", 5'10", something like that. People don't think that. People think that just because Randall Cobb played outside in Mike McCarthy's old system that, he was really like an outside receiver. And to be fair, he had some outside receiver in him. He had it in him. You know what I'm saying? But Randall Cobb wasn't really out. He could in a pinch, but he was really a slot guy. CeeDee Lamb, Sedarian lives inside and out. And I think some of those drops that you got from Randall Cobb, you don't get those drops with CeeDee Lamb. I think some matchups you can't get with Randall Cobb, you can get with CeeDee Lamb. The yak that you wasn't going, I know, Randall Cobb had that one play on the sideline where he kind of stiff-armed that dude. It was like the Giants or something. It was like 3rd and 10. He kind of stiff-armed that dude and got the yak yards. CeeDee Lamb get yak yards for real, man. I think it's an upgrade, plus the upside is so much higher, right? Even if he's not better than Cobb right now, he's going to be 3 times better than Cobb next year. And that's just how my brain works. That's just how I feel. Let's get back to the phone, though. Let's go 469. What up? Who this?
Hey, Voch.
Hey, how's the family?
Everything's good, man. I just wanted to talk about how do you think our linebacker depth is? Like, because I know that our starters right now, they all have injury history, and I don't know how that's going to be. Like, what if one of them gets hurt? I don't know how that's going to go.
So we got Sean Lee, Justin March Lillard, or Justin March, he don't go by Lillard no more. Joe Thomas, who's really good. Luke Gifford, who's coming off injury. Malcolm Smith, who is a Super Bowl MVP, I think, or he was in the conversation, something like that, the former Seahawk guy. And we got some undrafted guys that you could feel really good about. Francis Bernard from Utah, and you got Azur Kamar from Kansas. So yeah, I think we straight in terms of linebacker depth. We got some future guys, and we got some special teams guys, and we got some practice squad guys.
Okay. Because, man, that's just the one thing I worry about, because all of them have injury history, and I don't know how they're going to fill in. But, yeah.
Sure. What else you got?
Man, CeeDee Lamb, that boy, that man out of college, that was my favorite receiver, man. I was so scared that Dallas was gonna pass up on him.
Mm-hmm.
I was so surprised when we got him, man. That surprised me.
Sure.
I feel like we really taken a step in the right direction. I feel like we're about to do great things.
100%. He's a fantastic player. He was my 8th player overall, my wide receiver number 1, and we got him at 17. Great value.
Yeah, but that's all I got for you. Thank you.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Salute. My man wanted to call and like, hey, Voch, how you doing? Everything cool? Yep. All right. How about them Cowboys, huh? Yeah, man. Yeah. Weather show is nice outside. Oh, boy. Oh, man. That's funny. This meeting gonna allow me to edit videos better, allows me to use Fort cameras like my videos. Live stream is smooth, and I can present more streaming, and it will handle a higher volume of calls and more graphic text for film sessions. Presenting information better. My old laptop would die. All right, let me see what else y'all talking about. Corian Fairley says, okay, he just called. He dropped a dime in the super chat. I got some super chats. Let me check up on that. Appreciate you, man. He says, thanks for your time. We'll do this again. I'll be ready with notes next time. Hey, man, that's what we do, man. That's what we do. Hey, bring your notepad, man. You bring your notepad, and I'll just kind of wing it. But at the end of the day, we will indeed figure this thing out. The phone lines are wide open if y'all want to call in and do y'all thing. I ain't doing nothing. I'm just up here chilling. If y'all want to call into the show, the number's on the screen. It's in the description. And we could just talk, man. We could just talk. I ain't doing nothing else. 821 Trading dropped a deuce in the super chat, says, yo, Voch, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Kwanzaa to you, sir. Adrian Lindsay dropped a deuce twice. He says, blank is my cousin, and put some respect on Voch Lombardi's name. He was talking about all the things that I say. And he was saying that such and such player is my cousin. Well, Tony Pollard, me and Tony share last name, so that's why I call him my cousin. Everybody else is my sons. I don't know if I announced my sons this year. Just a player that I super follow really heavy and that I just kind of defend, or whatever. CeeDee Lamb is of course one of my sons. I don't think it'll be fair if CeeDee Lamb wasn't, if I didn't consider him as one of my sons. And Tyler Biotish, because not only does he play center like I play center, but he's number 63 like I was number 63. So yeah, I know I be trying to get offensive line on this team every single year. So CeeDee Lamb is my son, and Tyler Biotish is my son also. I don't know what I got against the defense kids, man. I just don't be claiming the defense kids like that. I just don't know. So the phone lines are empty. Chat box, if you guys have any questions, I will do my best to answer those and respond. And if not, I'm going to I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna go hop in the shower and lay down somewhere. So chat box or phones, what are your questions? If Sedarian gets 75% of Cobb's targets, and we got 3,000 yard receivers, facts. And I think he will, because not only are Cobb's targets gone, but I think Witten's targets are gone. And I think Witten's targets, I think Witten got a lot of targets because he was dump off safety valve guy. I think Jarwin gets a lot less targets, but he gets more yards because he does more potential he has more vertical potential for you. So I think CeeDee Lamb is just probably going to get more of those targets, just him being slot guy. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be interesting. What is George Edwards' role on defense? I'm confused. Who is George Edwards? What he saying? He one of the coaches or something? What is George Edwards' role? Is that the assistant coach that we don't know what he do? Is that him? Is that guy? George Edwards? Let's Google George Edwards. That's the guy with the glasses, right? George. Damn, not Kittle. George Edwards. Let's see what George Edwards is. George Edwards is currently senior defensive assistant. Yeah, he's just a defensive assistant. I don't know what he do. I have no idea who this fella is. I don't know. I hope he does something efficient. I hope. Best way to teach a base block? Just let the offensive lineman know to not let their feet get too off track. You know, if you do a lot of board drills when you base blocking, you really only moving that play side foot as far as you need to go. So if you moving to the right, you're only going to move your right foot. You know, if you're blocking, if you're a center blocking a one tech, you're only going to step 6 inches because you're on top of that one tech. But if you got to like block somebody that's head up over your guard or whatever, then your drop step will be a little wider. So just don't overcompensate for that drop, and just be aware of the distance you have to travel. And I'm assuming since we're talking about drop steps that we're talking about zone running. So if you're going to run the zone and it's a player that you got to step real wide to get, then 9 times out of 10, in most situations, he's not going to be your man. You should go upfield and block linebacker anyway. So that's my thoughts. That was Cam that dropped that. That was a very good question, actually. A very, very good question. That was more of a coaching question. 512, what's up? Who this?
Man, this Texas bred Cowboy at 3.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Everything.
Oh, man, nothing much.
There you go. What you got for the show?
Well, see, me, I'm trying to figure out why people are forgetting about my boy Gallup.
Mm-hmm.
And also, why they have so many doubts on our DBs? I mean, do they not realize who our DBs do practice against? I mean, they are practicing against some of the best wide receivers in the league.
Sure.
Even though we did have a damn coordinator that seemed senseless.
Right.
That really made no sense to me.
Sure.
I mean, how do you not disguise your defense?
Right. I think it's a couple ways for me to approach that. First of all, I think people are sleeping on Michael Gallup, in which they shouldn't. I think what makes this whole CeeDee Lamb thing special is that you have Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, so that CeeDee Lamb doesn't have to be the number one guy. Like Gallup, dead ass got 1,000 yards by himself last year and like 6 touchdowns, something like that. So let's not forget how good Gallup is. Plus, let's not even listen to the Cowboy fans that are trying to trade Gallup. Like they're like, well, Voch, if we got one hole to fix, this safety. Let's trade Michael Gallup and a pick to go get Jamal Adams. Well, why would you make a hole at wide receiver? That just doesn't make sense. I think part of why CeeDee Lamb is going to be really good year one is because Gallup and Cooper are there to take up most of the attention. So I agree, man. Gallup is being slept on, and he shouldn't be. So yeah, great point there. And our DBs aren't bad neither. You know, it's just that Cowboy fans are a very "what have you done for me lately" bunch, and lately we just haven't been playing well at DB. But if you look deep into that, we do have talent at DB. We just got to put it all on the field and produce it properly. And I think we do that at some point this year.
All right. Now, I'm also tired of everybody trying to trade for Mr. Adams. I mean, the way I see it, let this man play his last year over there.
Mm-hmm.
And when he hits free agency, which most likely he will do, then you go and throw money at this guy. Because I don't think another team is really going to pick him up. I mean, I don't think no one really wants to get rid of their own draft capital and want to turn around and just be ready to pay this man buku bucks out the gate.
Right. Sure. Yeah, makes sense. You know, I don't want to give up draft capital to go get him because I think if he's that disgruntled in New York, then he just won't be playing there next year. Like I don't think he'll miss any games. I just don't think he has that in him. I think he's a football player. So once his contract over, just send him to free agency and we'll just pick him up in free agency and keep our draft picks.
All right. Now, outside of CeeDee Lamb, because we know he's definitely going to put a stamp on the team, which other rookie do you think is the most prepared to step into a starting position
Tyler
out the gate?
Tyler Biadasz, our fourth round center, because I think that you can hide center and the other positions you can't hide very well. It's hard to hide corners unless you just want to just leave a safety over there the whole time, but that's not productive football. Neville Gallimore, if I don't think he's ready to wrestle with those growing offensive linemen just yet. Bradley and Knight's probably not ready to wrestle with them growing offensive linemen just yet, and they could prove me wrong. But Tyler Biadasz plays center, and you can hide centers because you can combo with them. You can scheme for him. You can make it to where Tyler's never one-on-one with a big one-tech to where he's blocking linebackers and stuff. He's getting combo help. You know what I mean? So I think Tyler can play day one. Regardless of whether I think he's ready or not. I don't think he's ready, but I think he can play just because of his position. Also, if I can get even more nuanced, there's an undrafted guy, the fullback from TCU, Shewu Aloni-Lua. All he got to do is come in and beat Jameis Olawale. And if he's better than him, then he lines up and start day one. And I think fullback is another easy way to kind of come in and just get some early reps in.
Well, damn, Voch, I was just about to say what you think about the fullback, but you just must be a prophet or something. You know what I'm saying?
As what I do, player. What I do, player. You know what I'm saying? What you want me to say? You know what I'm saying? but yeah, man. You know, it's all about the path of least resistance. You know, I think the defensive end that we got, Rondell Carter, Ladarius Helms. I think those guys are really good, but we got a lot of defensive ends on this team that they got to come in and beat. Shewu Aloni-Lua only got to beat Jameis Olawale. Only person he got to beat, and he's good to go. So with fullback being a path of less resistance, then I think he has a better chance of making the team.
Okay. I can understand. I could definitely see that there. I'm trying to think of anything else I really have for the night. I think that's pretty much it, damn it. I mean, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. Hell, I'm watching like 3 streams right now anyway.
Hey, man, you know, whatever it is, you know, whatever it is you want to talk about, you know what I mean? Hey, man, we here for you, dog. We here for you. But if that's it, I appreciate you for calling, though.
Oh, man, all day, man. I'll come up with some more stuff. And, hell, I might be calling back to the phones and some that.
That's what I'm talking about, my guy. Appreciate it, man. Salute.
Salute.
Yeah. Great call, man. Let's do this, though.
The conference has been locked.
Bam. Let's do that. And let's get into the last caller for the night. Let's see what's going on. 952. What's up? Who this?
What's up? This T Diggs.
T Diggs. What's up, T Diggs? What you got for the show?
Yeah, I just wanted to say Dak Prescott, my quarterback.
100%. All right, then I'll holler at you, player. Salute. Straight to the point. In and out of here. All right, then. That's all you got. That's it. You good? No, yes. All right, he gone then. All right. Well, let me just hold on. Is this? Yeah, he gone, y'all. He gone. All right, that was the last call of the night. Then that was. He just wanted us to know that Dak Prescott was indeed his quarterback. Salute to you, my guy. I kind of want to get the chat box a little bit of attention because sometimes I be ignoring the hell out of y'all. There you go, right there. T Diggs. He just wanted to call in and let us know that Dak was his quarterback. There he is, right there. He in the chat box, right there. T Diggs. Well, you know what, T Diggs, Dak Prescott's my quarterback too. Dak is all our quarterbacks as well, and they gonna stop hating on him, T Diggs. They are gonna stop hating on my quarterback because look, T Diggs, when he win the Super Bowl, it ain't nothing they gonna be able to say to him, T Diggs. It's not a thing they gonna say about my daggum quarterback when he you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Now, chat box. Your questions. Voch, what type of graphics are you planning with your fancy computer? Well, I don't really speak computer, so I just kind of got the best of everything. I have a plan, a part of my rollout. It's like the third phase of my rollout, and it includes animation. I'll say that. And that's going to be for the regular season. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. Also, but I just wanted to be able to do things on my live stream. Like, the reason why my live streams be so blank is because if I try to do a lot of stuff on my laptop, it just stalls and dies. It stalls and dies. And I had to delete a bunch of stuff and defrag. I had to go through a whole little process to get my PC ready for draft day. And the video was still laggy. It was ugly looking. My phones kept dying. Chrome kept crashing. In a perfect world, what I want to do for the draft is I want to get in touch with the Voch Lombardi of different fan bases, whether it be Lieutenant Dan for the Falcons, Coach Evans for Ravens, Deuce being the Saints guy. I kind of wanted to have a correspondent for every team. And as those teams made the pick, what I wanted to do was to just kind of tap in with those guys on like a video call, pull them up on the live stream, and just kind of let them talk about the pick that their team made, and I kind of react with them. In a perfect world, that's what I wanted. But my damn PC would crash if I tried to do that. My PC would die a horrible death if I tried to do that. I would love to have the round table being shown as a round table. That shit it'd be dying. My computer can't handle that. My computer can barely handle OBS and Skype at the same time. So what I wanted to do with this new rig was just to be able to just do stuff, right? I want to do a lot of things with streaming, like when I do my soliloquy videos. Oh, you should see it. I'll record that high quality ass video. It'll be a big ass file, and I'll put it on my laptop. My laptop say, "What the hell am I gonna do with this?" That 5-hour process of soliloquy video on the Mac, it's probably like a 40-minute process. Like syncing up the audio, editing, exporting, putting it on YouTube. It's a 40-minute process. On a laptop, that shit 5 hours. So having the new PC just gives me more, it just gives me a better work experience, and it'll make the presentation of this thing a lot smoother, That's all. What else y'all got? Now I remember what's on my mind. Oh, now he remember. Let's say Dak doesn't sign the tag and does not get what he wants. Do you think Jerry Jones will go for a can? Do you think Jerry Jones would go for Cam? Cam. Okay. I don't think nobody's going for Cam. I think there's a couple of reasons teams aren't going for Cam. I think Cam's decline is a reason. I think Cam's money might be a reason, but also I just don't think. I think in the league circles, I just think people just don't think Cam is a very pleasant person to be around. So that's just that. That's just that. But I think Dak either signs a big deal or he plays under the salary cap. I don't think Dak is gonna. Dak ain't gonna miss no ball games for us, man. It ain't gonna be like that. It shouldn't be like that. What else y'all got? What else y'all got? I'm giving y'all a smooth 30-second clock game to hit me with something interesting, and if not, I'm gonna go get in the shower and go to bed. No, we ain't got no. Going one time. No, not that. Going 2 times. No, not gonna be able to do it. No. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. This was fun. It was dope. Salute. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Look out for the soliloquy videos. I'll probably drop another one of them next week. I think that's gonna turn into a weekly thing. So be prepared for that. Shouts out to my Patreon people, my Super Chat people, even the PayPal people, man, because y'all drop something in the PayPal, I can get something for the channel immediately, and I'll take that and put it on some technology, and next thing you know, it's helping towards the improved channel rollout, so this thing can have a better production look to it. So everything helps, man. Everything helps. I appreciate all y'all, everything y'all do. Lance said he came too late. Hey, click rewind, click play it again. And y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski P Squeezy. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to me if you haven't. And yeah, I think that's it. I also got shirts coming too. I got some new shirt designs on the way too. So y'all tune in for that. Now I'm leaving you all. This was a fun show, but it's over with. Peace.